mutiny. The uproar aroused Othello, who, on learning its cause, said, "Cassio, I love thee, but never more be an officer of mine." On Cassio and Iago being alone together, the disgraced man moaned about his reputation. Iago said reputation and humbug were the same thing. "O God," exclaimed Cassio, without heeding him, "that men should put an enemy in their mouth to steal away their brains." Iago advised him to beg Desdemona to ask Othello to pardon him. Cassio was pleased with the advice, and next morning made his request to Desdemona in the garden of the castle. She was kindness itself, and said, "Be merry, Cassio, for I would rather die than forsake your cause." Cassio at the moment saw Othello advancing with Iago, and retreated hurriedly. Iago said, "I don't like that." "What did you say?" asked Othello, who felt that he had meant something unpleasant, but Iago pretended he had said nothing. "Wasn't that Cassio who went away from my wife?" asked Othello, and Iago, who knew that it was Cassio, and why it was Cassio, said, "I can't think it was Cassio who stole away in that guilty manner." Desdemona told Othello that it was grief and humility which made Cassio retreat at his approach. She reminded him how Cassio had taken his part when she was still heart-free, and found fault with her Moorish lover. Othello was melted, and said, "I will deny thee nothing." But Desdemona told him that what she asked was as much for his good as dining. Desdemona left the garden, and Iago asked if it was really true that Cassio had known Desdemona before her marriage. "Yes," said Othello. "Indeed," said Iago, as though something that had mystified him was now very clear. "Is he not honest?" demanded Othello, and Iago repeated the adjective inquiringly, as though he were afraid to say no. "What do you mean?" insisted Othello. To this Iago would only say the flat opposite of what he said to Cassio. He told Cassio that reputation was humbug. To Othello he said, "Who steals my purse steals trash, but he who filches from me my good name ruins me." At this Othello almost leapt into the air, and Iago was so confident of his jealousy that he ventured to warn him against it. Yes, it was no other than Iago who called jealousy the green-eyed monster which does mock the meat it feeds on. Iago, having given jealousy one blow, proceeded to feed it, with the remark that Desdemona deceived her father when she eloped with Othello. If she deceived him, why not you, was his meaning. Presently Desdemona re-entered to tell Othello that dinner was ready. She saw that he was ill at ease. He explained it by a pain in his forehead. Desdemona then produced a handkerchief which Othello had given her. A prophetess 200 years old had made this handkerchief from the silk of sacred silkworms, dyed it in a liquid prepared from the hearts of maidens, and embroidered it with strawberries. Gentle Desdemona thought of it simply as a cool soft thing for a throbbing brow. She knew of no spell upon it that would work destruction for her who lost it. "Let me tie it round your head," she said to Othello. "You'll be well in an hour." But Othello pettishly said it was too small, and let it fall. Desdemona and he then went indoors to dinner, and Emilia picked up the handkerchief which Iago had often asked her to steal. She was looking at it when Iago came in. After a few words about it, he snatched it from her and bade her leave him. In the garden he was joined by Othello, who seemed hungry for the worst lies he could offer. He therefore told Othello that he had seen Cassio wipe his mouth with a handkerchief which, because it was spotted with strawberries, he guessed to be one that Othello had given his wife. Then Happy Moor went mad with fury, and Iago bade the heavens witness that he devoted his hand and heart and brain to Othello's service. "I accept your love," said Othello. "Within 3 days let me hear that Cassio is dead." Iago's next step was to leave.